This video covers the process for CalOMS admissions. If you are required to do a CalOMS admission, this form will appear in the admissions bundle after the first form called Admission. It's important to note that while this is often required for an admission, completing this alone does not open a new episode for your client. This form is simply required data collection on your new client. If you have any questions, just hover over the light bulbs to find out more about the fields you are completing. While none of the fields are red, indicating a required field, leaving fields blank may cause errors later when this information is reviewed by the state, and will show up on error correction reports, requiring you to enter the information at a later date. For this reason, it's important to double-check that you have not forgotten to put an answer for every single question, even if the answer is not applicable or unknown. There are light bulbs for almost every question, so if you're not sure, just hover over them and try to enter the best answer. Again, make sure to put an answer for every field. This video will not cover every field, just some of the more complicated ones, or fields that are commonly done incorrectly. Some things to keep in mind about the CalOMS admission form is what to enter when the client doesn't know, declines to state, or the question is not applicable. This can happen if the client is homeless, unable to answer your questions, or the question does not apply, such as the driver's license number for a client with no license. You will still need to put something in this field. The fields that this can apply to are birth first or birth last name, social security number, current residence, and driver's license number. If the client declines to state any of the above, the code to enter is 99900. If the answer is none or not applicable, the code to enter is 99902. If the client is unable to answer, the code is 99904. One important thing to note is that 99904, meaning unable to answer, can only be used if you are doing an admission for a detox or residential detox, or if the client is entered as developmentally disabled under the disability section. Improper use of this code will result in the information being rejected, and this admission will appear on the CalOMS error correction report. This applies to any field where you can enter in 99904 for client unable to state. If the client is homeless, you will still need to enter residence information. If the client is homeless, enter 00000. If the client declines to state, enter XXXXX. If the client is unable to answer the question, enter ZZZZZ. Again, this unable to answer code can only be used if you are doing an admission for a detox or residential detox, or if the client is entered as developmentally disabled under the disability section. The place of birth-county drop-down menu only contains California counties. If the client was born in a different state, select Other - born outside of CA. If the client was born outside the United States, pick Other - born outside of the US. There are fields here that link to other parts of this admission and will cause errors later if improperly entered. The driver's license number and driver's license state are two of these fields. If the client declines to state their driver's license number, does not have one, or is unable to answer, the driver's license state must be none or not applicable. For the mother's first name, if the client is unable to provide a name, enter mother or mom. Next is the transaction data section. When an individual transfers from one service modality to another, the admission data must be marked as a transfer and collected again for the new service modality. This is because CalOMS treatment is designed to measure change, and there could be a difference in the person's answers during the time that elapsed from their admission into the first modality and to their entry into the second modality. However, if an individual transfers within 5 calendar days from one modality to another within the same provider, then the provider can use the admission data from the first modality for the admission data in the second modality. The admission data is the next section. Select a principal source of referral here. If the source of referral is SACPA court/probation, parole, drug court, or any court criminal justice system, then the criminal justice status cannot equal no criminal involvement on the criminal justice data tab, which is part of a later section. Here, enter the number of days the client was on a waiting list before being admitted into your treatment program due to limited program capacity. Do not include days client was waiting in jail or time client was served at TAP, etc. If you're not sure or don't know, enter 99901. If the client is unable to answer, enter 99904. Again, do not use this code unless you're at a detox facility or the client has developmental disability under the disability section. Below, you can enter the number of prior episodes this client has had, 99901 for not sure or don't know, or 99904 for client unable to answer. Under the frequency of use for the primary drug, enter 0 to 30, 99902 for none or not applicable, or 99904 for client unable to answer. Enter the frequency of alcohol use here in the last 30 days if the primary or secondary drugs are not alcohol. If alcohol was selected as a primary drug, this field will be populated automatically with 99902. Otherwise, enter 0 through 30, 99902 for none, or 99904 for client unable to answer. Enter the number of days the client used needles to inject drugs in the last 30 days here. This only becomes active if a drug can be injected. Enter 0 through 30, 99900 for client declined to state, or 99904 for client unable to answer. Under the criminal justice section, the criminal justice status must match the source of referral. If the referral source is from any court or criminal justice agency, enter the CA Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation identification number here. This must be entered if the referral or criminal justice status indicated previous incarceration. You can also enter 99900 for client declined to state, 99901 for not sure or don't know, 99902 for none or not applicable, or 99904 for client unable to answer. The FTOP parolee and FTOP priority status does not apply to San Francisco. On any of the following fields, you can enter 99904 for client unable to answer, but again, remember only do this if the program is a detox facility or the client is selected as developmentally disabled under disability. Under the Family Social Data section, the living arrangement field must match what was entered for the client's zip code on the first page. If the client was indicated as homeless with a ZZZZZ area code, homeless must be selected here. Alternatively, if a zip code was entered on the first page, you must select either independent living or dependent living. It's important to remember to enter an answer for every field, even if you don't have complete information. Double check when you are finished to make sure that you have done so. When you are ready, click Submit to continue to the next form in the CalOMS admission.